Hello, everybody. I'm doing my video for the week one presentation about SEL learning and what I feel about it. I'm going to be looking down wearing my glasses because I'm going to look down at my notes here and there. But, first of all, I'll just discuss some things that I've learned about SEL from previous credential courses I've taken. I just found it very interesting because, to my understanding, I truly believe this stuff should be taught by parents when the children are very young. Um, and I know that a lot of parents haven't focused on this stuff with their kids, that are unable to. And I'm not sure the reasons. I just know that there's a lot of things going on with kids these days. A lot of single parent families, especially my daughter. Comes from single parent family. I raised her by myself. And I noticed that a lot of kids these days are tucked into their technology and their social media. That's mostly with like junior high and high school kids, but I think it gives them a lot of anxiety to fit in. I've learned some stuff from podcasts that I've listened to about SEL, and I'll discuss some of that. I have an article, so I haven't really like researched the subject, but I know like building positive relationships with your students and really focusing on the whole child, is a big part of SEL, along with, all the core, the five competencies, self-awareness, self-management, um, social awareness, relationship skills, which I really want to focus on, and responsible decision making. When I'm teaching high school kids, I'm not going to sit there and tell them what to do. I just like to try to revolve lessons when I am going to be teaching full time around, you know, ethics and morals. I just believe those things are becoming a lost thing these days. I know there's a lot of good parents out there. I'm not saying it's all parents' fault about how their kids are, but when being a parent, I feel like whatever my daughter does in school is reflective upon me, and if she gets in trouble, which she does sometimes, because she does have a few behavior issues. I tell her it's a little embarrassing sometimes, but I feel like I know the school well now and the principal, um, to be able to implement this SEL approach would be great if her school would take that approach, and I believe you know they have been this year especially. Um, so some of the findings that I want to discuss are about how SEL is an essential function for the child, for their ability to function in a school setting, especially younger ones. And also, that from the study, the article that I have from the podcast is basically, there's a researcher who was basically saying that, the things that I spoke about, technology and things, that kids aged 13 to 17 found that 7 in 10 teens have anxiety and depression. So uh, that's creating like major problems for their peers, like especially in the classroom. Also, how they're very distracted. Kids get really distracted a lot easier these days. When I was going to school, they wouldn't like label us. If anything was wrong, it was like, okay. They didn't have like special ed classes or anything like that, 504s, IEPs, anything. So that basically, with the counselors now at school to help children out, but like I said, the caring for the whole child and to teaching, the whole learner. And the idea is like in order for the kids to have success in school, their needs need to be met as well. And that is including the social and emotional needs. That's why I feel like SEL is so important. And I was really interested in taking these SEL classes, like to focus on that for my master's, because I believe, especially in my situation with high school kids, that SEL and building positive relationships with them is going to be very important for me and for my success in the classroom. I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, I could sit here and read notes, but I don't really want to do that. I'm just doing the best I can about my interest in SEL and a couple things that I found about it, and my focus about, really building the positive relationships and, maybe helping the high school kids with making better decisions and choices. One thing I want to do with them for an SEL kind of lesson would be to like put them in a character's shoes. What would you do if you were this character when we're reading certain types of literature, especially maybe something like Of Mice and Men, like what would you do if you were George, and what would you do in this situation? Like give them different situations, and then I could read their stuff and kind of maybe learn a little bit about them and how they feel about certain things, and how they empathize with things, and how they would make decisions in certain situations. So I think like the SEL stuff is so important, and I look forward to learning a lot more. Thank you.